man who would have turned 85 this week, the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, would have celebrated his 85th birthday this week had he not succumbed to, well, everything. Food, drugs,
what was it,
women, booze, I don't know.
What did they say? It was more
Peanut
heart
butter,
attack.
banana.
Well, it was heart attack induced by constipation due to opioid.
Well, he was over
abuse.
300.
Is that what they kind of
he was
deduced?
like 300 pounds, man. He at the end there, he was 300 pounds on stage, and women still adored him.
Oh,
Good
hey,
for him.
hey there, mama.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you make me one of them peanut butter? What was it?
Peanut butter banana.
Sandwiches.
I actually once went to Graceland. I highly recommend it. If you ever get a chance to go to Memphis,
It's actually sad. Like, do you know, like, a lot of his conditions, like, because it was a volley of errors of like who he's being treated by. It was like he was popping pills, which
it was like Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
like
and
the
then
original.
it was just, and then like they said like his stomach issue, they said it could have been fixed because he was on opiates a lot of times because of the pain. It caused him to get bloated. He gained, and like they said a lot of his
opioid-induced constipation.
Yeah, he sat like they said he would sit on the toilet for hours on end, which is what caused his heart attack. Yeah.
Well, like I said, that and he was 300 pounds, and he was he was just generally unhealthy.
You know who shares a birthday with the king?
Who?
You?
This guy.
Oh,
yeah.
The king.
So
you were born after Elvis Presley died, as we all were, because he died in 1977. You're telling me that maybe, just maybe, you were Elvis Presley reincarnated.
Oh.
He's like, I didn't say that at all. I wasn't even thinking that.
I cannot confirm or deny that.
You kind of had like the early Elvis kind of haircut, the shaved sides before he went into the army.
Yeah,
you know?
okay.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting. What if you have rock royalty reincarnated?
They say in Pulp Fiction, in the extra scenes, if you've ever seen those, what's her name? Mia Wallace asked Vincent Vega if he is an Elvis man or a Beatle man. Now, a Beatle man can like Elvis, and an Elvis man can like the Beatles, but you have to one or the like one's more prevalent in your opinion. You're the guest, Dr. Chris. I'd like to start with you. Would you consider yourself more, if any, a Beatle man or an Elvis man?
I am hardcore a Beatle man.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Oh, Beatles, yeah.
Beatles?
I do love me some Elvis, but
I would call
love
myself
the Beatles.
probably an Elvis man.
Ooh.
I don't know. I mean, again,
are you just being a contrarian? I know that's your nature.
No, I'm really not. I'm really not. And I dig the Beatles. I really do. But no, I would.
If you have to deny being a contrarian, I think you are one. I think that's kind of like the.
Oh no, I am a completely.
I love the Beatles. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. I like the Beatles. I'm not anti-Beatles.
Yeah.
Hey,
George, so what's
George,
favorite?
Ringo, Paul. Who else am I missing?
Bobby.
Who was the fifth Beatle? Who was the guy that was like, I was the fifth Beatle, and they I
the
quit.
drummer.
George
the drummer.
Lazenby.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Talk about missing the boat on that one.
Yeah. No shit.
Sean Connery.
I
He was
had-
a Beatle, right?
I had the lottery ticket. And I literally shredded it. What were you saying, Mike? What was
So, what is your favorite Elvis song then?
Oh, I like Viva Las Vegas, and I like
Viva Dining.
yeah, and I like a little less conversation.
The last conversation.
Makes me think of Ocean's 11. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one,
that's what I mean. I don't hate any Elvis songs. I
Elvis
don't hate.
is good. I mean, you gotta love Elvis. I mean, like he is. I don't know if he's a king. I mean,
He's the king. Now, have you ever seen the '68 comeback special by chance?
oh, dude, it's glorious. I always said if I was ever gonna have a rock out, like be like a rock star, my first album was gonna be called the '68 Comeback Special.
No, by '68, Elvis was in pretty rough shape.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd been the king.
They had to grease him into that jumpsuit.
Well, hold on. No, he not for the special. The special he got back into shape, but like when they were trying to plan it, him and his handlers, and I think probably Colonel Parker and all. He had handlers.
Memphis Mafia.
You know you're rich and famous when you have handlers, like people that come in and like grease everything. Oh, he's gonna come in here at exactly 12:02. And
Where do you get a handler?
you gotta
What do they go for?
You got to be rich. You got to have.
I don't know.
You got to have an
Well, let's
entourage.
just assume.
Well,
I think we should get handlers. Can we?
In today's
is there like a
wages-
handler
I think-
intern we can get?
I would say in today's wages, it's
there
like,
a
it's like a
master's?
personal assistant on steroids, right? As a handler. So someone who's willing to do anything at any hour, go get your laundry.
Get your drugs.
3 a.m. I
I
want
definitely-
KFC.
Yeah, bury the body.
You got to pay them. So probably like I'm saying probably 75 grand.
Yeah.
And that's probably for someone that is not educated, doesn't have anything else going on. But you know what? This guy pays a lot, and
I would want someone like former CIA or like maybe like
No,
mafia.
no,
That way, in case like because I figure if we need a handler, that means then like we're probably in some pretty heavy shit. Like that way, if like you have like a dead body in there, your handler is going, okay, so you weren't here. All right, I need a set of gloves, some duct tape, and avocado, and some bleach.
That's your advisor.
Oh, okay.
Your
So
handlers,
that's not the handler.
Your handlers are almost like your
okay.
henchmen. In
Okay.
a way.
See, I was thinking more like a Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts.
Yeah,
Nice.
right. Like
yeah.
like someone who could run your entire life, but you
Ooh.
pay them like a secretary.
Ooh.
Man, she
Yeah.
she could be my handler. No.
Yeah. I've actually I never thought she was all that. Gwyneth, I never thought she was all that attractive. She was like one of those.
hear the
Everyone,
silence
she's
over here?
Just,
like,
just
I don't
yeah.
think she's
you-
ever
you
that
see-
hot, man.
Just
I
stop.
don't know what it. I
Hey,
think it's her personality.
okay.
It's kinda,
All right.
It's,
hey,
it's not Gwyneth. It's the idea of Pepper Potts.
there you go.
Potts.
Right.
I wish I knew someone named Pepper. Yeah. What about you, Dick Pepper?
Have another kid.
So when Elvis was trying to make a '68 comeback special, right? The Beatles
Chill,
were
gotta
reigning
name her.
supreme,
Pepper.
right? Elvis had kind of
Dr. Chris said it was a good name. He cured my back. I said, if you cure my back, I'll name my firstborn after you.
What are you talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Do you know what he's talking about, Dr. Chris?
No, I don't think he knows what I'm talking about ever.
Move on.
Oh.
Move along.
He just nods and smiles. Yeah, Mike. All right,
That's
just
the
lay down,
basis of
dude.
this
Just
show.
lay down, just lay down, Mike.
What was I saying? What was I talking about?
Well, we were talking about we were talking about Elvis, favorite Elvis songs. And
Oh,
so now we got
the '68 comeback
yeah.
special. Okay, so Elvis is kind of down on his luck, or his best years were kind of behind him. He overweight, probably addicted to drugs at that point. I'm sure the whole nine
Yeah.
yards. The Beatles were in. Elvis was kind of out, and people wanted his handlers, his people wanted him to kind of come back. And I guess they were going to have pitch this idea for this '68 comeback special, and they went into the executives at probably I think it was NBC. It was. They sat down. Elvis was there with all his entourage and said, "Here's what we want to do." They laid it out. We want to have this special, and to his credit, the decision maker at the network looked at him and went, "I can't put you on the air." He goes, "Why not?" He goes, of course I'm
Paraphrasing.
right. He says, "You look terrible. You're out of shape. Like you just I can't put you on the air." I guess the rumor was that one of the handlers pulled a gun and was like, "Do you know who you're talking to?"
It
And
wasn't Memphis Mafia. So,
right,
yeah.
exactly. And and I guess later on I'd heard that Elvis had told the guy privately he had thanked the guy. Thank you, because you told me what I needed to hear, not what everyone tells me.
tells
I was
me,
like, you're the champ, man. You look great, champ. That one of those deals. And it actually inspired Elvis to get back into shape. If you go back and watch the '68 special and look at him how he looked in 1967 versus '68, completely different.
Wow.
Now, little do we know, 9 years later, when he kicked the bucket, he was going to be 300 pounds or whatever, and completely back to where he was at. But for one fleeting moment in '68, man, he looked good. He was
Elvis.
back to himself.
Look, Al Elvi.
Real quick here. When Elvis passed away, a friend of my mother worked at the hospital in Memphis that they brought Elvis into. Right now, Elvis was already dead, right? But they did. I don't know how long he was, but they didn't know that. They bring him. They rush him in. The woman, I think she might have been a nurse. She was friends with my mother. Worked in the Memphis hospital. They bring in Elvis. They said that Elvis was so overweight and so bloated when they brought him in that nobody there knew it was Elvis.
Wow.
Imagine that in Memphis, Tennessee in 1977, not even knowing that Elvis Presley is in front of you because he was in such bad shape. They said it wasn't until, she told my mom that it wasn't until later on that the entourage showed up, and I don't know if they started asking questions, but they made their presence known, and they figured out, wow, that was Elvis. Of course, he had already expired by
Right.
then, but
I thought you were going to say that she took a 1977 selfie with a dead Elvis.
well,
That would have made a really good
cut off
story.
a lock of his
actually.
hair, cut off a lock of his hair, something like that.
I do got a funny Elvis story.
Oh, here we go.
So yeah, so my favorite Elvis song is "Suspicious Minds," right?
How's that song go?
Oh,
Come on, just give me.
Suspicious minds.
Is that how it sounds
and
like?
we can build our dreams. So,
Oh
I
my
can't sing. I never can sing, right?
Wait,
So,
I hear all the dogs in the neighborhood howling. Why
oh,
is
yeah.
that?
So, funny story. So, there was a sushi restaurant called Otani that did karaoke nights, right?
remember Otani.
So I think you were there.
I only
right?
went there one time.
Yeah. So
You and Frazee used to
yeah,
go.
so we all went for karaoke nights, and so we were doing like sake bombs, and it was an interesting night, right? So so maybe I had a lot to drink. Since it's the same night that we stole their plants in their lobby and got banned
Why
from
would you
Otani.
do that?
I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but
What the hell's wrong with you?
I did a riveting rendition of Suspicious Minds, and apparently I sang the entire song on my back, singing like this. The entire damn song.
Do you not remember
Only 5 minutes later for all of us to be booted out of Otani and not allowed back ever again. Yeah. We still kept the plants, though. Yeah.
I know they look great over there.
They look fantastic.
Yeah, they're brilliant. They're you know.
It's like between two ferns.